I was going to do this bit on Dr. Dre, then I wanted to say this bit about crisps, and then that just became its own segment in itself. I love it when that happens. But that means I didn't get a chance to talk about and include cup soup. Cup soup. And I don't think anyone else is going to find this funny at all. But I love cup soup because it's just like, I can understand cup of soup. You know, like, cup of soup, it's a brand name. Oh, do you want a cup of soup? It's a cup of soup, cup of soup, cup of soup. Do you want a cup of soup? I should do a cup of soup, cup of soup. They've been around for fucking years, so fair enough. But I love it when brand names, like, do a new one, and they've got to get around marketing, copyright and everything, but they cannot be bothered to really bother at all. And I absolutely love cup soup. Cup soup? Fuck off the A, cup soup, brilliant. And it's actually quite nice. Well, it's not nice at all. It's a cup of powdery, processed shit in a cup. But for what it is, it's alright if you really can't be bothered to eat anything, which is, if you know me, I need real, nutritious top-ups between my large copious amounts of high-strength alcohol. And cup soup, fills the job. Now the thing that I don't like is we've got recently, and I know it's like, people get very strongly about this, and it's like, oh, I really don't like the old school hardcore that came around in '98, there's not enough pianos and everything. But for me, in 2014, there is not enough chicken with croutons. It's all vegetable with croutons. It's always chicken with noodles, or chicken with nothing, or vegetables with noodles. No, vegetables with nothing, or vegetables with croutons. But there seems to be, like, a couple of years ago, it was a golden age for cup soup. There was chicken with croutons, which for me is heaven. I don't want to piss around with fucking proper food when I'm trying to digest ridiculous amounts of alcohol. And now we've just got cup soup. It's fucking ridiculous. So, fucking bother with that. Anyway, today we're moving on to Still Dre by, well, obviously Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I tried to do a Shania Twain segment earlier, and I tell you, this is a bit of an insight into recording processes. Everything I've ever done on this channel, and I'm not saying it's any good at all, I'm just saying anything I've ever done on this channel has been completely just set the camera, let me rant, and what does impress Shania Twain, and I will do it, and once I've got like the bit on the bottom and like the front and the back and back to the front, and a bit better production standards, I probably will still do it. But I actually planned this Shania Twain bit out, and I couldn't do it. It was fucking awful. So I've had to give up. So basically, I thought, well, let's just do something else. So this is Dr. Dre, Still Dre. If it goes shit, it goes shit. But I'm probably still going to put it up anyway. So we're just going to talk about it and carry on as we were. So we're talking about Still Dre featuring Snoop Dogg. Obviously, still Snoop Dogg and Dre. Guess who's back? Still doing that shit, Dre. Well, Snoop Dogg's, I mean, this is inspired by a website, and I'll mention it at the end, but still doing that shit, Dre, is Snoop saying, are you still doing that, doing that stuff? And he's saying, yeah, I am, actually. Still, still writing raps and stuff. It may have been 9 years or whatever, but I'm still rapping. And then Snoop says, alright, fair enough. Well, being as you've been gone for 10 years, and I've carried on the whole time, and you coming back, you're still more popular than I am. Can I do a little bit on your rap? And Dre says, but didn't we have that shit? And he was like, yeah, we did. But he's like, yeah, go on then. Okay, fair enough. He's like, well, how come if you've been going, doing all this, well, I've done nothing. How come you're desperate to be on my album? And Snoop says, just leave it. Okay, fair enough. So he says, oh, for sure, check me out. I'm still Dre Day, AK nigga. Before I chrome the lot. I mean, chrome the lot. I'm not even joking, chrome the lot. So this is like 2000, and he was suggesting, I think he was an actual advisor on Google Chrome. He was like kind of suggesting, what we need to do with the internet browsers, things like that. So he was saying, I still chrome a lot. He can't keep it at home a lot, and he was saying, I've just discovered this new really fast browser that, I know people aren't using Internet Explorer anymore, but even Firefox and Safari, this is going to wipe them out. He's saying, I've started writing lyrics again, but while I was writing rap lyrics, I've kind of made Google Chrome, do you want to buy it, Google? And they said, oh, faux show. And they did, and the rest is history. Because when I frequent the spots I'm known to rock, you hear the bass from the trunk when I'm on the block. Now, I don't think I like that line. If you hear the bass from the trunk, which is, or for you English people out there, that's the, the boot. I personally, I wouldn't put the stereo in the boot, or I would put the stereo in the boot, but then the speakers would be in the car. But I wouldn't put the speakers in the boot. You wouldn't hear the bass from the trunk. Honestly, if there's any American people out there who are all like, drive around, listen to loud music, and they say the bass does come from the boot, then I'm saying, please correct me. I would love to know. I don't like being wrong in things, and I'm happy to be pointed out if I'm wrong, because I like to know what's going on. So you hear the bass from the trunk when I'm on the block. Ladies, they pay homage. So, ladies pay homage. That means even though he hasn't made an album in 10 years, he's still getting his dick sucked. But haters say Dre fell off. Which I know, because haters say Dre fell off. People are saying, well, he hasn't made an album in 9 years. By the way, this is, year 2000. People should know that, obviously. But haters say Dre fell off. He hasn't made an album in 10 years. So everyone's saying, what the fuck's happened to Dre? Blah, 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 blah. And he's saying, how? My last album was The Chronic. And I didn't know this till the other day, but he made like a re-up type album, like the one all you kids will know from Eminem, type album, and it wasn't received very well with various artists, but Dre did a lot of the beats and stuff. And he responded in this line with saying that wasn't an album of mine. I don't give a fuck. How did I fall off? My last album was The Chronic. It went really well, and I haven't made an album in 9 years. Well, I still think, you still haven't made an album in 9 years. If I look back at my life, I'm 31. In 21, if I made like this amazing industrial album in 21, I think by 31, and someone said, yo dog, when you gonna make any more of that fat 9 Inch Nails shit? And I say, what the fuck, nigga? I've been spending a decade owning that shit. I think they'd have a right to probably say, well, come on, mate, hurry it up. Get something out there. Or just make something, you lazy bastard. And they want to know if he still got it, which, to be fair, he had still got it. And they say, rap's changed, they want to know how I feel about it. And he did. And this is what I say, I do these homages, but he made a pretty good album, and rap did change, and he changed, and it was fucking brilliant. So Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is the name. I'm ahead of my game, which he is. Still puffing my leaf, so that's implying that he still smokes marijuana. Still with the beats, that's implying that he still makes his music. He's still not loving police, which is fair enough because he smokes a bit of weed, and when they pop around, Dre's just sitting there on the corner having a spliff, and then police, he's not gonna, and also implies to, fuck the police by NWA. He's still got love for the streets. Repping 213. Now I actually searched that the other day, and I've completely forgotten what it means. I've just searched repping 313 because my fucking finger's going wild. God knows. Whatever 213 is, 313 must be insane. Yeah, that was what it was. 213 is the area code for Compton, Inglewood, Long Beach. So yeah, he's still Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood, even though he's probably living in like Hollywood or something. Still the beats bang, so they're saying still the beats are fucking going for it. He's still doing his thing, which is rapping and making music. And since I left, ain't too much changed. Well, I think since he left, a lot has changed. If he left the game in 2001, and then he come, well, no, tell a lie. You know, I forget how old this was. He left the game in about 91, 92, something like that. Again, if people want to correct me, that is fine. So that's a lot of I think the game much changed. If you listen to that kind of G-Funk era from 92, 91, 93, and then to, you know, Dre 2000 or whatever, loads has changed. But, you know, who are we to... well, then obviously, he can't say this all by himself, so we bring Snoop Dogg, he says it. And Snoop Dogg says he's representing all the gangsters all across the world, and he was chilling with Dre like a decade ago, but he's saying to Dre, I'm still hitting them corners in them low-lows, girl. So I mean, that line I've never quite understood, but I could possibly imagine he's having sex with prostitutes. But the fact that he says still, and he hasn't seen Dre in 9-10 years, that to me screams out that Snoop Dogg has been having sex with prostitutes for the last 10 years. Which I think is a bit sad. You'd have sex with prostitutes a few years. I mean, I haven't. I've never had a sex with a prostitute. I've never really needed to. And that's not like I'm some player or something. I've had other interests with games and music and everything else. And I've had on-off girlfriends and partners and fiancés over the time, and I've had enough sex, even if it's once a week, once a night, once a week, once a night, once a month. I've never had to, once a year. Even once a year at odd times. I've never really fancied the old prostitute on the corner thing. So I don't know if that's anything to really, especially if you're Snoop Dogg. But there you go. So he's telling Dre, since me and you stopped rapping, I pretty much resorted to just sleeping with cool girls on the street. And then Dre says, but I've been taking my time to perfect the beat. Which is fair enough, I suppose, because he's a perfectionist. I've never had that. It's not something. And Dre said, I've still got love for the streets. It's a D.R.E. And I think Dre's got a more positive version of the streets than Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg just sees, he hates the streets. And every so often he has to go down, stand on the corner, find a prostitute, fuck her, go back up. And that's brilliant. Well, for Snoop Dogg, smoke a bit of weed, chuck a load of money on her. Brilliant. But he's more of a finesse artist. He spends a decade. I mean, as someone who's only 30, I can't even imagine spending a decade on anything. I can't even spend 10 minutes on anything. These videos are probably the most I've ever spent on anything. So, brilliant. And then Dre says, since the last time you heard me, I lost some friends. And he's referring to Snoop. Well, hell me and Snoop, we're dipping again. So that's, you understand that. Obviously they're chatting, so you understand that. He kept my ear to the streets, signed Eminem, which you all know, if it wasn't for Dr. Dre, we would never have Eminem. And if you don't know that, then you're a fucking tool, and I don't really want to go into that anymore. Not that I'm like some big Eminem fan, although I do really, really like him. But if you're a person who doesn't know that Dr. Dre bought us Eminem, then honestly, I have zero respect for you. And that isn't even a sarcastic bit. That is a completely... That is me saying, fucking, you know, wise up on your shit. Kept me hit street, signed him an M. He's triple platinum doing 50 weeks. Still close to the heat, even when I was close to defeat, I rose to my feet. I think that's just saying about after 5 years of doing fuck all, he thought, I really can't be bothered to do anything more. So I've got shitloads of money, so I just carry on doing fuck all. No, I'll do something. Treat my rap like Cali weed. I smoke till I sleep. Smoke loads of weed. Wake up in the AM, compose a beat. And I've been speaking to my good mate Pete about this. And we were saying, fair enough. And the reason Dre's so successful is because he does wake up in the AM and compose a beat. Whereas me and Pete would probably wake up in the AM and drink a can of cider. And then we said we'd wake up in the PM. Wake up in the PM. Wake up in the PM, drink a can of cider, go back to sleep. Yeah, it would be a treat my rap like Cali weed, I smoke till I sleep. Wake up in the PM, go drink a can of cider, go back to sleep. And that's why me and Pete have never got anywhere, and that's why Dr. Dre is Dr. Dre. I can't imagine Pete being called anything cool like that. So that was a call out to him, and if he wants to prove me wrong, then fucking be successful as Dr. Dre. That's like some tough love there, and then he can do some tough love back to me, because I don't wake up in the AM and compose a beat. I woke up this morning and woke up in the AM and tidied the living room, but I don't know if that sounds as cool. I don't think it does. Wake up in... Yeah. I bring the fire to your soaking in your seat. If that sounds good. It's not a fluke, it's been tried on the troop. It's Turtle Lights after the World Class Wrecking Crew. Has anyone seen him in the World Class Wrecking Crew? I think people realise that Dre, before Dr. Dre, was in the World Class Wrecking Crew, although that is an ultimately brutal, brilliantly named. Bit of a boy band. Obviously, I'm not going to hold it against him because he still did far more. I mean, he's already been in a boy band, then been an old school rapper, then been a new school rapper, then been a producer, and I've done absolutely fucking nothing, so I'm not going to hold it against him. But yeah, look him up. It's fucking crazy. You actually realise how old Dr. Dre actually is. I'm still at it after mathematics. Well, yeah, after math. So he's just bit of wordplay there, there's nothing really to talk about. I'm the home of drive-bys and atmatics, swap meets, sticky green and bad trackets. I dip through and I get seen Dr. Dre. Yeah, not really anything. It seems like he's getting a bit bored with the song. It ain't nothing but and this is the thing, this has been sampled in a lot of dance tunes. He says, it ain't nothing but more hot shit. But in the dance tunes it always sounds like mo hard shit. It ain't nothing but mo hard shit. And that's what it came along. And I tell you one thing, another thing, like when this came out, I don't know whether there was an a cappella CD going around or a sample pack or something going around of this that someone had leaked. But in like hardcore and gabber and drum and bass and stuff, there was like so many samples of this album of Dr. Dre, just one lines here and there, that just made some absolutely classic tunes. And I will discuss in another episode the relation to current rap and current dance music in regards to samples. And this album was a smorgasbord of fucking crazy fucking samples. The beats bang, and there's going to be, a load of others that I can't think of. All the crisps. He loved all the crisps. And it was brilliant, yeah. When you call in on the corner with all your flower bits, laid back in the shack, yeah, play this track. That's another one. Play this track. And then obviously the most well known, representing all the gangsters all across the world. So hitting them corners in them lolos, girl. I'll break your neck, damn near put your face in your lap. Niggas tried over the king, but the ace is back. But the main one everyone remembers in lolos, girl. Taking my time to perfect the beat. but I still got love for the streets. And I'll leave you with a little passage by Dre himself. And I want to read this quite carefully because, you know, for what it deserves. Dr. Dre be the name, still running the game, still got it wrapped like a mummy. Still ain't tripping, love to see young blacks get money. Spend time out the hood, take their moms out the hood. Hit my boys off with jobs, no more living hard. Barbecues every day. And driving fancy cars. But I'm still going to get mine regardless. And then Snoop replies, because it's like a back and forth. This is like Christopher Hitchens, Stephen Fry back debate. And Snoop replies, right back in ya motherfucking ass. 95 plus 4 pennies. Add that shit up. Dre, right back on top of things. Smoke some with your dog. No stress, no seeds, no stems. Some of that sticky, icky. Some of that real sticky, icky. Ooh-wee. Just put it in the air. What more can be said? And they were right. And where are we now? Thank you.